She suddenly realized she had been turned into a doll. As her eyes moved, she regained consciousness, so she immediately tried to escape, but she fell hard to the ground. Next to her sat 2 other dolls, just like her. She endured the pain and kept crawling forward, but then she suddenly discovered her legs were prosthetics. She tried to use the chair in front of her to pull herself up, but just as she exerted force, her arm suddenly broke off too. As tears flowed backward, it turned out this was just her hallucination. But at that moment, another doll just like her had already been placed by the killer at an amusement park. When the patrolling security guard found her, she had already stopped breathing.
Ed,
Go ahead.
you need to send that back up.
The FBI quickly launched an investigation into this murder case. This was a serial killing case. This body was already the second victim to appear in Atlantic City. The previous victim had been placed on a swing at the amusement park. The killer would always dress the victims up beautifully each time, then place the body in a highly conspicuous location. The killer had no specific preference for targets. The 2 victims were but the killer didn't abuse them. They were all dressed up meticulously and beautifully. Therefore, it was preliminarily determined that the killer might be a woman. The next day, Rossi and Hotch came to the crime scene. They found that the amusement park was very crowded during the day. The killer must have transported the deceased over late at night, but security guards patrolled at regular intervals during the night. To transport the body more conveniently, she probably also used tools like a wheelchair. If she used a wheelchair, this meant her vehicle had a lift system, and she had a disabled person parking permit. At this moment, Hotch noticed there was a disabled parking spot right next to him, so Hotch immediately notified the police station to investigate vehicle owners with disabled parking permits. And the times they went missing were right after the previous 2 deceased victims were found.
Both of these new victims were abducted 1 week ago, exactly 1 day before the bodies of Rita Stewart and Stacia Jackson, respectively, turned up.
She doesn't let a body go until she has a replacement.
The next day, another woman who had disappeared 2 months ago was found. This meant the killer had just found a new replacement. The police quickly confirmed that Bethany, who went missing last night, was the latest victim, and based on all the collected clues and characteristics, in this case, the killer was extremely fond of collecting dolls. Over the past 3 months, she accidentally lost her original dolls. Therefore, she desperately wanted to find new dolls. When she couldn't find satisfactory dolls, she started kidnapping living people and transformed the victims to look like dolls. The victims were all petite in stature. They resembled what dolls should look like in the killer's mind. The killer had implanted hair into the 3rd victim's scalp. This was a technique commonly used in making dolls. Although she caused the deaths of 3 women, collectors are different from serial killers. She never used violence. She would even carefully protect these dolls of hers. Whenever she lost a doll, she would search for a new victim.
This woman works alone. We know she has medical training. Look for nurses' aides or orderlies who were fired for a lack of social graces. She can't fake a bedside manner.
We believe she's currently working as a tailor or seamstress, and we're following those leads now. But do let us know if you notice any overlap in your suspect pools.
After the meeting ended, Bethany's husband rushed to the police station. He told Hotch that the police must find Bethany within 24 hours because she had diabetes and had to take her medication on time. Bethany's doctor told Rossi that diabetics metabolize differently from normal people. After Bethany was injected with mind control drugs, she could develop complications within minutes and then die. Another possibility was that she would break down the drugs faster than other victims. This meant that Bethany could very likely regain mobility ahead of schedule. At this moment, Bethany opened her eyes. The killer happily poured a cup of coffee. Suddenly, the doll sitting across from Bethany opened its eyes. Bethany was shocked to discover that the other person was also a living human being just like her, but they couldn't control their own bodies. They could only let that killer manipulate them at will, and